What if the car sitting in your driveway right now has a blind spot so large it could hide an entire pickup truck? Because some of the most popular vehicles on American roads today have visibility problems so serious that safety researchers have flagged them specifically as high risk for older drivers. And the scariest part? Most people who own these cars have absolutely no idea. If you've ever had that heart-stopping moment where a car seemed to appear out of nowhere during a lane change, or you've had to crane your neck 3 times just to feel safe backing out of a parking space, this video is going to explain exactly why that's happening. After 50, visibility challenges become more serious, and certain cars make them dramatically worse. Today we're going through the worst cars for seniors with poor visibility, the specific models you should avoid, and exactly why they failed. We're talking thick roof pillars that create massive blind spots, tiny rear windows that make reversing genuinely dangerous, low roof lines that restrict your sight lines, and design choices that look great in a showroom but create real danger on the road. Let's get into it. Worst car number 1, Chevrolet Camaro. Let's start with a scenario. You're merging onto the highway. You've checked your mirrors, you've glanced over your shoulder, you feel clear, so you begin to move over. And suddenly there's a horn blast from a car that was invisible to you half a second ago. Your heart is pounding, your hands are shaking, and you did everything right. That's not driver error. That's the Chevrolet Camaro's visibility problem in action. The current generation Camaro has one of the most restricted outward visibility profiles of any vehicle sold in America today. The roofline sits dramatically low, a design choice made purely for aerodynamic aggression and visual appeal. The result is that the front hood is nearly invisible from the driver's seat, making it almost impossible to judge where the front of the car ends when parking. The rear window is one of the smallest on any production vehicle, measuring so narrow that it provides only a thin letterbox view of what's directly behind you. But here's where it gets worse. The Camaro's rear roof pillars, the C-pillars on either side of that small rear window, are extraordinarily thick. When you turn your head to check your blind spot, those pillars can obscure a full-sized vehicle in the adjacent lane. This is not opinion. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety has consistently rated the Camaro poorly in driver visibility assessments, and multiple independent tests have demonstrated the severity of its blind zone. The consequence for a driver over 50 is significant. As we age, the range of comfortable neck rotation decreases. Turning your head far enough to see past a thick C-pillar becomes harder and more uncomfortable. A car that already has a massive blind spot becomes genuinely dangerous when the driver can no longer compensate with aggressive head movement. Most car owners don't realize this until they own the car and start feeling that creeping anxiety every time they change lanes. If the Camaro is on your list, take it off. There are far better options for drivers who prioritize safety over styling. Worst car number 2, Nissan Rogue. Pre-2021. Here's something that will surprise you. One of America's best-selling SUVs, a vehicle millions of people bought specifically because they thought an SUV would give them better visibility, turned out to have one of the worst rear visibility ratings in its class. The pre-2021 Nissan Rogue has a rear visibility problem that caught many buyers completely off guard. The rear window is steeply raked, meaning it angles sharply rather than sitting more upright. And the thick D-pillars on either side create substantial blind zones that the standard rearview mirror cannot compensate for. Picture this. You're backing out of a parking space at a busy shopping center. You check the rearview mirror. You check both side mirrors. You start reversing slowly. What you cannot see is a pedestrian walking along the row of cars at an angle that places them perfectly inside the Rogue's rear blind zone, outside the mirror's field of view, hidden behind the thick pillar. This exact scenario is precisely why rear cross-traffic alert technology was developed. But on base trim Rogues from this era, that technology wasn't standard. You were on your own. But here's what most car owners don't realize. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety evaluated the pre-2021 Rogue's rear visibility and found the maximum glare-free rearview mirror sight distance to be among the lowest in the compact SUV segment. In plain terms, the amount of road you could actually see behind you was dangerously limited. This is where it becomes expensive. Backing-related accidents are among the most common low-speed collisions, and they disproportionately affect older drivers. not because older drivers are worse at reversing, but because their vehicles often have worse rearward visibility and their ability to compensate through extreme neck rotation is reduced. The fix if you already own this vehicle? Aftermarket wide-angle mirror attachments can help, and a portable backup camera is a worthwhile investment. But if you're shopping, the post-2021 Rogue improved significantly, or simply choose a different vehicle from the start. Worst car number 3. Ford Mustang. The Ford Mustang is an American icon. It carries 60 years of emotional history, and for many drivers over 50, it represents the car of their youth, the one they always wanted, or the one they once owned and still dream about. That makes this next part hard to say, but it needs to be said. The Ford Mustang, particularly the 6th generation model from 2015 onward, has rear and side visibility problems that make it a genuinely poor choice for seniors experiencing age-related vision changes. The fastback roofline creates a dramatically sloping rear that reduces the rear window to a narrow, raked opening. Combined with thick C-pillars and a low overall seating position, the Mustang puts the driver in a visual environment that requires near-perfect neck flexibility and peripheral vision just to manage lane changes safely. Here's the relatable scenario. You're sitting at an intersection, waiting to turn left across traffic. You need to look left, check the gap, look right, check for pedestrians, then commit. In the Mustang's low, restricted cockpit, each of those head movements requires more rotation than in a higher-seated vehicle. The thick pillars interrupt your sight lines at the exact angles where you most need to see clearly. And if your neck has lost some of its rotation range, which is completely normal after 50, the margins get uncomfortably tight. But here's where it gets worse. The Mustang's low hood line means you can't see the front corners of the vehicle. Parking requires guesswork about where the front bumper actually is. Curbs become a threat. Tight spaces become an anxiety source, and every minor parking lot incident, the kind that leaves a small scuff or a cracked bumper cover, costs several $100s to repair on a vehicle with specialty body panels. The Mustang is a tremendous car in many ways, but for drivers over 50 managing reduced peripheral vision, reduced neck mobility, or any form of age-related visual change, it works against you at every turn. Worst car number 4. Tesla Model 3. Now here's one that's going to surprise people, because the Tesla Model 3 is considered by many to be the most technologically advanced mass-market car ever built. And in many ways, it is. But for seniors with poor visibility, its design creates specific and serious problems that no amount of technology fully solves. The issue starts with the A-pillars. The Model 3 uses unusually thick A-pillars, the vertical supports on either side of the windshield, which create notable blind zones at the front corners of the vehicle. At intersections, when you're looking for pedestrians, cyclists, or vehicles approaching from the side, those pillars can conceal objects in exactly the zone where you most need to see them. Most car owners don't realize this because they're dazzled by the technology inside. And the technology is genuinely impressive. But here's what the technology cannot fix: the physical location of your eyes relative to the road environment outside the glass. But that's not the biggest visibility problem with the Model 3. The biggest problem is the camera mirror system. In the standard configuration, the Model 3 uses a small, traditionally positioned rearview mirror. But here's what creates real difficulty for older drivers. The entire vehicle is managed through a single large central touchscreen. There are no physical controls for mirrors, no stalks for turn signals on some versions, and the process of adjusting or checking any vehicle settings requires engaging with a touchscreen while driving. This is where it becomes genuinely dangerous for seniors. Managing a touchscreen requires taking your eyes off the road. For a driver with reduced processing speed, a natural neurological change that occurs with age, the time spent looking at a screen rather than the road is proportionally more dangerous than it is for a younger driver. The rear visibility is also limited by the sloping fastback roofline, and the absence of a heads-up display on standard trims means critical information requires you to look down and across to the central screen rather than keeping your eyes at road level. If this kind of safety information is useful to you, subscribe right now. We cover exactly these topics every single week for drivers over 50, and it won't cost you a thing. The Model 3 is a remarkable vehicle, but for seniors with poor visibility or reduced capacity to manage complex digital interfaces, it introduces friction at exactly the moments when driving demands your full attention. Worst car number 5. Dodge Challenger. Here's a car that is enormously popular with drivers in the 50-plus age group, because for many of them, the original Challenger is woven into their personal history. The nostalgia is real, the emotional pull is powerful, and that's exactly why this warning is important. The modern Dodge Challenger is a massive, heavy vehicle built on a platform originally designed in 2008, and its visibility profile reflects engineering priorities from that era, priorities that did not include optimizing outward sightlines. The scenario plays out like this. You're pulling out of a gas station onto a busy road. You need to see left and right clearly and quickly to find a gap in traffic. In the Challenger's deep, wide cabin, with its thick A-pillars and low roofline, your sightlines to both sides are compressed. The front corners of the hood are invisible. The thick pillars interrupt your view at the exact angle where cross-traffic appears. You either commit to a gap you can't fully see, or you creep forward until you can see, which puts your front bumper into the road before your eyes have confirmed it's safe. But here's what most car owners don't realize. The Challenger's rear visibility is arguably even more compromised than its side visibility. The rear window is small and deeply recessed into a thick, heavily styled rear roofline. The standard rearview mirror provides a view that is so restricted that the backup camera, standard on most trims, is not a convenience. It is a necessity for safe reversing. Drivers who bypass the backup camera display and rely on mirrors and over-the-shoulder checks are working with genuinely inadequate visual information. This is where it becomes expensive. The Challenger, by virtue of its size, width, and visibility limitations, has a higher rate of parking lot contact damage than most vehicles in its size class. Wide body, poor corner visibility, large turning radius, these combine to make every tight parking situation a potential repair bill. For a driver over 50 with any reduction in peripheral vision or neck flexibility, the Challenger's visibility profile works directly against the natural compensations older drivers rely on. The romance of the car is real. The risk is also real. Worst car number 6, Jeep Wrangler, 2-door. This next one surprises almost everyone who hears it, because the Jeep Wrangler is associated with ruggedness, simplicity, and an open-air driving experience that sounds like it should offer excellent visibility. And in some ways, with the top down and the doors off, it does. But here's the reality of daily driving in a 2-door Jeep Wrangler with the hardtop on, which is how most people drive it most of the time. The 2-door Wrangler has one of the most genuinely dangerous rear visibility profiles of any vehicle currently on sale in America. The rear window is small, flat, and positioned so high relative to the driver's eye level that the rearview mirror provides a view that is almost entirely obstructed by the spare tire mounted on the tailgate. Let that sink in. The spare tire, mounted on the exterior of the rear door, sits directly in the center of what should be your rearward view. The backup camera partially compensates for this, but the mirror itself is nearly useless for traditional over-the-shoulder reversing checks. The thick, square B-pillars on either side of the rear door create additional blind zones that are particularly problematic during lane changes. The Wrangler's upright, boxy design means the pillars are both thick and positioned in a way that interrupts sight lines at multiple angles simultaneously. But here's where it gets worse for older drivers specifically. The Wrangler's ride is famously stiff. Road vibration travels directly through the body of the vehicle into the seat and steering column. For a driver who already experiences visual disturbance from mild head tremor, which becomes more common after 60, that vibration makes the already limited visual environment even harder to manage. Your eyes are working harder to stabilize images in a vehicle that is actively making stabilization more difficult. The 4-door Wrangler Unlimited is meaningfully better in some of these areas. But the 2-door Wrangler in daily driving conditions, with hardtop and spare tire, creates a visibility environment that safety researchers and occupational therapists consistently flag as inappropriate for drivers with age-related visual changes. Worst car number 7, Subaru BRZ and Toyota GR86. We've arrived at the most important warning on this list, because this one involves two vehicles that are genuinely beloved, highly praised by automotive journalists, and actively marketed to enthusiast drivers of all ages. And for seniors with poor visibility, they may represent the most dangerous combination of design compromises available in a new car today. The Subaru BRZ and its twin, the Toyota GR86, are low-slung sports coupes built around a driving experience that prioritizes feel, feedback, and performance. Everything about their design, the low seating position, the steeply raked windshield, the fastback roofline, the narrow rear window, serves that performance mission, and it does so at a direct cost to outward visibility. Here's the scenario. You're driving on a moderately busy road, and you need to merge left. You check your left mirror, you check the rear view. You turn your head to check the blind spot, but your seating position is so low that your eye level is below the door window line of vehicles in adjacent lanes. You're not looking across at traffic, you're looking up at it, or more precisely, at the lower door panels of SUVs and trucks that now sit entirely above your sightline. Most car owners don't realize that the increasing prevalence of SUVs and trucks on American roads has made this problem dramatically worse for low-slung vehicles than it was 15 or 20 years ago. When sports cars were designed alongside other sports cars, a low seating position still gave you reasonable sightlines to adjacent traffic. Today, adjacent traffic is often a Ford F-150 or a Chevrolet Tahoe, vehicles so tall that they become visual walls to a driver sitting 8 inches lower. But here's where it becomes the most serious issue on this entire list. The combination of a low seating position, thick A and C pillars, a narrow rear window, and adjacent traffic that towers above your sightlines creates a visibility environment where the natural compensations available to aging drivers, extra mirror checks, additional head movement, slowing down to create more visual processing time, are not sufficient to fully close the gap. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety has flagged the difficulty of rear visibility in these vehicles. Independent testing has found that the maximum rearward visibility through the mirror is among the most restricted of any new vehicle currently on sale. For a driver in their 30s with perfect peripheral vision and full neck rotation, these vehicles are manageable with attentive driving habits. For a driver over 50, managing any reduction in peripheral vision, any limitation in neck flexibility, or any reduction in visual processing speed, these cars are genuinely the wrong choice. Not because of driving skill, because of basic physics and biology working against each other. The bottom line. Here's what we need to say clearly. Visibility is not a luxury feature. It is not something you trade away for style points or nostalgia or the feeling of a car you always wanted. Visibility is the most fundamental safety requirement in any vehicle because you cannot respond to what you cannot see. After 50, the visual environment behind the wheel becomes more demanding. Peripheral vision narrows, processing speed changes, neck rotation decreases. The cars on this list take those natural changes and make them worse through thick pillars, narrow rear windows, low roof lines, and design choices that prioritize appearance over sightlines. You deserve a car that works with your eyes, not against them. That means adequate rear window size, manageable pillar thickness, a seating height that puts your eyes at a useful level, and driver assistance technology that compensates for the zones your mirrors can't cover. The cars to avoid are on this list. The good news is that excellent alternatives exist at every price point, and we cover them regularly on this channel. Now, I want to hear from you. Leave a comment below and tell me, have you ever had a close call in a vehicle with poor visibility? Or is there a car you're currently driving that makes you feel like you're driving blind? Let's talk about it. And if this video helped you today, please subscribe. We're here every week with content built specifically for drivers over 50. Real information, no fluff.